Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to another Walking Dead Daryl Dixon video. So, I want to talk about Daryl Dixon because we actually have an update here for Season 2. We have a casting announcement here, and a lot of this new character here, the description given for this character seems to tease how Carol is going to get to France, and there's a huge update as well with the actor strike and all that, which I'm sure everyone knows because it's like a week old or something now, but I haven't had a chance to talk about it yet, so I want to talk about that and how that affects the Walking Dead universe and everything here. So before we go any further, make sure to be a subscriber if you want to get all my Walking Dead content like this, and if you haven't followed me on Twitch yet, definitely go do so. My channel name is Appetite for the Dead. We're only 4 days away until the premiere of The Walking Dead Destinies, and this game is going to be a really massive game for Walking Dead fans, and it's because of how much you're able to change the story. Like, Walking Dead fans in general have always sort of wanted a what-if scenario type of thing, and you know, like The Walking Dead, the original series, is so popular for like a lot of its crucial big moments and like the big decisions made in those moments, and like what if this thing changed, and you know what I mean? It's such a big thing for fans to talk about, that actually getting a game that can allow you to make those decisions and like change certain scenarios where Rick will die and Shane will survive, and how does that affect season 3 and 4 during the governor arc? Who else can die during certain moments like that, and where will that end up going by season 4? Like, I'm gonna be playing a lot of this game. I'll finish the game doing certain decisions and I'll replay it making other decisions and see where that goes. So I'm gonna be streaming that so much on Twitch, so definitely go follow me on Twitch. I'll do videos on it too as well, and I'll upload it here on the channel. But if you want to see my live reaction and all that, then yeah, definitely go follow me on Twitch. I mean, there's gonna be so much to talk about with this game, and I say it's a really big game because the Walking Dead like Telltale series, obviously a lot of people love that series, but that series is over now, right? And besides that, there hasn't really been a lot of big Walking Dead games where people can focus on, you know, some of the story and get excited about it. Like, I know the Walking Dead Destinies gets criticized for its graphics, but the thing is, the game isn't a AAA game. The voice acting, it isn't the actors and stuff, but honestly, that kind of stuff is fine. The graphics are decent. Like, I know some stuff is a little off, but I think overall it's fine. If it was a AAA game, then definitely I would criticize it because, like, yeah, no, definitely, like, that wouldn't be up to standard. But yeah, anyways, if you want to see me play this game, I'll leave a link down below to my channel on Twitch, and yeah, it's called Appetite for the Dead, but let's get into this here. So the big news that we got here is that The Walking Dead Daryl Dixon season 2, or I guess the Book of Carol, now has a new character, and he's actually a main character here, and the actor's name is Manish Dayal. I could be saying his name wrong. Like, again, I always get names wrong, so I apologize for that, but he will be playing a character that goes by the name of Ash, and according to Deadline here, and again, I'll leave a link down below to the article, the character's name is Ash, and he's an engineer from Boston who moved to the family weekend house in Maine after the onset of the apocalypse. Ash lives by a strict schedule based mostly around his daily flights in a retrofitted single-engine plane and mysterious visitations to his backyard greenhouse. So there's a lot here to break down. I think this character we do see in the trailer, right? I'm pretty sure this character is actually in the trailer for season 2. I guess not the official trailer, but the little teaser trailer that we got. I'm pretty sure that he's actually in that teaser. So Carol is likely going to meet this character here. Carol and Ash, I'm guessing, are going to end up in France somehow. I do wonder how much of episode 1 and 2 is going to be, you know, Carol trying to get to France. I know that they are filming right now for Daryl Dixon, and that they were able to get, like, you know, I think 2 or 3 episodes in before the strike happened. And so a lot of the photos that did come out of Carol and Daryl together, you know, they were in France. And so I'm guessing that's around episode 2 or 3. So it's probably going to be like an episode 1 or 2 thing where we do see Carol eventually arrive in France. My guess is the end of episode 2 is where we will see Carol and Daryl reunite. So episode 1 will focus a lot on what just Carol is up to, a lot of what Daryl's up to, and then in episode 2, you know, you sort of progress some of the story there, just introduce some more problems and all that. I imagine the premiere is going to end with something to do with Madame Janae and what she's planning on doing. And then the end of episode 2, you're going to see them reunite. And then 3 just kind of, you know, continues from there. But what's interesting about this new character, Ash, is that he's actually an engineer. And so I actually kind of like that because that's a skill that he's going to be able to use here in this show. And so I wonder how they're actually going to utilize that, because people with skills like that, very handy to have things like that, right? Like to have skills like that in the apocalypse, because you'll be able to do a lot. And he lives in Maine, which is kind of interesting because obviously that's where Carol is. That's where Daryl got in the boat and ended up in France. And so Carol's going to meet Ash in Maine, and then he lives obviously in his family weekend house. I'm assuming he's by himself. There might be a whole backstory with his family and all of that. And he lives by a strict schedule based mostly around his daily flights in a retrofitted single-engine plane. So first of all, there's the first part here, and then there's a second part that says, and mysterious visitations to his backyard greenhouse. So the first part here is kind of interesting because he flies a plane. It's a single-engine plane, and he would be able to actually fly that across the Atlantic. Like, I think you would need a lot of extra tanks. I did a little bit of research here on this, and I think a single-engine plane, I think it happens all the time where they do fly across the Atlantic. So Carol and Ash would be able to make it to France. Now, that's actually kind of interesting because, you know, if she actually asks Ash for help and he's like, you know what, I will help you kind of thing. I will help you go find your friend. He's the pilot. I mean, that is very, very stressful. First of all, just to be in a plane like that flying across the Atlantic at this point, like there's no help, anything, like, you know what I mean? Like it's really terrifying. And once you land, like you're going to have to hide the plane because you don't want Madame Genet to find out or anything, right? So there's some really interesting things here. This character, it does seem to actually be a main character. So I'm kind of excited about that because I think he will actually play a role overall in the story of season 2. So I'm very, very hyped for that. The second part here says, and mysterious visitations to his backyard greenhouse. So I'm not entirely sure what that's about. I mean, is there something there regarding like Walker Cure stuff? Probably not. I don't think there's anything there, but it's a weird thing to mention there, right? Like it's a weird thing to kind of mention that there is something about his character that is a little off in terms of just, you know, there's a mystery there. So I guess we'll have to wait and see. It could be something very, very simple, like, you know, that's where he keeps his family or just something like that, right? So yeah, but they're filming right now. Season 2 is filming. It's underway. I know they had to wait a little bit to film season 2 because yes, the strike ended however long ago, but they actually set a date for when they were actually going to resume filming and stuff, because I know that they got like Daryl Dixon's been filming for a while, like it's actually been filming for quite a while now, but they weren't able to film immediately after AMC got I guess the approval to be able to do so. But now that the strike is actually over, you know, things are basically back to normal and people can sort of promote their films now. Like that's why, you know, a lot of shows recently or movies likely haven't been doing as great, because you can't have the actors really promoting stuff and really going on talk shows and doing this and that, right? Like there's a lot there where like just that promotion in general really does help out a lot. Like I just think about, you know, The Walking Dead, The Ones Who Live. Imagine if that show came out in February. I mean, it is, but there was no promotion from Andrew Lincoln or Denai Guerrera, right? Like they were completely silent through the entire thing. That would be really, I mean, I think horrible for fans. Like I'm so excited to watch that show because I'm really interested in the behind the scenes stuff, to hear things from Andrew Lincoln and Denai Guerrera about just their thoughts on these scenes and how this relates to this and that, you know, and talking about coming back and what it was like to do whatever. And just, you know what I mean? I want to see all of that. I want to see Andrew Lincoln and Denai Guerrera on these late night talk shows talking about stuff, because that really does promote the show quite a bit. And it makes it very, very exciting, right? Especially when they've just been very quiet about everything, right? Like there's like literally at Comic-Con, we probably could have had them there to release that first teaser, but the strike was happening, so we couldn't do that, right? So it's kind of exciting to be in a place now where they're going to be able to promote a lot of this here. And, you know, for Dead City season 2 as well, they're going to be able to write that show because the writer's strike is over. So, you know, they're probably working on the writing for that, working on how they're going to actually, you know, film and just a schedule for that in general. Because season 2, we don't have a release date for it, right? Like they might even hold off on that until 2025. I don't think so, because that is a lot to do. To hold off on that until 2025 would mean that in 2024, we have The Ones Who Live in February, probably late February, right? Going until like the end of March. And then I guess Daryl Dixon would air at So at some point in September, October again. Like there would be not a lot to talk about, right? So I don't think they're going to do anything like that, because that's just very not, you know, AMC hasn't really done anything like that where they've only had like 12 episodes air in like 1 year. So I do think we're likely going to get Dead City at some point there. And my guess is, you know, because they're filming right now, filming's probably going to keep going until the end of November. They'll probably have like 4 episodes done. And then I think they'll probably continue in January at some point, like after the holidays are over. And they'll likely be done filming in February or March. And around that point, Dead City could actually start filming, right? And then we get that show in the fall kind of thing, in October. And I mean, that gives them a lot of time, right? And that's the thing. They're able to film really at any point. They don't have to wait for Daryl Dixon to be over. But if they do start filming in March or something like that, then yeah, I could see that show easily coming out at some point then. Like, I do wonder, I guess, in terms of filming, just how things are going to work out for Dead City. And I guess I'll have to do a video on that because filming for that show, like in New York in January, there's snow everywhere, right? So would they just kind of film like that? Would they just have snow everywhere? I mean, I think that could be a good look. Like, you don't have to change that much. What does that do for production costs and all that? There's a lot of questions I have there. So maybe they're waiting until next summer to film, until next like early spring. We'll have to wait and see, I guess. Like, honestly, I'm hyped for, you know, what's coming. And they're at the point now where they are going to be like that's kind of why I feel like they have to up the episodes. Like Daryl Dixon season 2 is only going to be 6 episodes, it seems. So I feel like they do need to up the episode counts because people want more than that, right? Like people want more Walking Dead. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see. But this is the latest update on the Walking Dead Daryl Dixon. I'm very excited to meet this new character. This new character seems like he's going to be a big part here of the show. He's a main character, and season 1 was obviously a really big success, and season 2 seems to be following the same exact thing here. I can't wait to see Daryl and Carol actually reunite. You know, season 2 is going to be really, really exciting here. So anyways, I'm gonna leave it here. Make sure to be a subscriber if you want more Walking Dead content like this, and I'll see you guys in the next one.